and welcome back as we end our journey through the book of Acts. Today we begin chapter 28, and where we last left the story is that Paul experienced shipwreck, but God allowed everyone to be saved. And so now they're about to go onto an island. Let's see what happens next. We're going to read a portion of scripture, pull out a timeless truth. Today we're going to be in verses 1 through 10. Let's dive in. After we were brought safely through, we then learned that the island was called Malta. The native people showed us unusual kindness, for they kindled a fire and welcomed us all in, because it had begun to rain and was cold. When Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and put them on the fire, a viper came out because of the heat and fastened on his hand. When the native people saw the creature hanging from his hand, they said to one another, "No doubt this man is a murderer. Though he has escaped from the sea, justice has not allowed him to live." He, however, shook off the creature into the fire and suffered no harm. They were waiting for him to swell up or suddenly fall down dead. But when they had waited a long time and saw no misfortune come to him, they changed their minds and said that he was a god. Now in the neighborhood of that place were lands belonging to the chief man of the island named Publius, who received us and entertained us hospitably for 3 days. It happened that the father of Publius lay sick with fever and dysentery, and Paul visited him and prayed, and putting his hands on him, healed him. And when he had taken place, the rest of the people on the island who had diseases also came and were cured. They also honored us greatly, and when we were all about to set sail, they put on board whatever we needed. Now Paul knew that Rome was his destination. Yet he could not have imagined how God would use a shipwreck to redirect his steps to the island of Malta. From storms at sea to the swimming ashore to warming himself by a fire, Paul was taking it one day at a time. He did not set out to reach Malta, and he may not have even known that the island had existed, much less understood the language of its people. Yet God had already prepared the way. Without strategic plans or missionary training for this culture, Paul stepped into opportunities to serve. He prayed for the sick, met needs with compassion, and became an instrument of healing to an entire community. Luke does not mention conversations, baptisms, or a church being planted, but revival in Malta looked different. It was seen in hospitality, in prayers offered, in healings received, and in lives touched by God's presence. Paul's time on the island reminds us that God's plans are often far greater than our own. He does not always reveal the whole entire picture, but he calls us to walk faithfully through storms and surprises, trusting that each step may become a divine appointment. God's mission is not limited to our plans, strategies, or even our expectations. His purposes unfold in ways that often catch us by surprise, yet always display his power and grace. And so, church, I just want to encourage you today that whatever you are going through, whatever season you are in, that you would slow down and that you would prayerfully say, "Lord, let me see your fingerprint wherever you're at." Whether it might be going to the grocery store, you may not have expected to talk to the clerk or expected to talk to another customer. Lord, in how I drive, I wasn't expecting this traffic to hold up, and now I'm listening to this awesome Bible study. Or, Lord, even as I go to church and I get to meet someone I've never known before, or maybe I've seen someone at church and I never heard their story before. And now, Lord, thank you so much for allowing me to take time to see how you orchestrated to bring these people into my life, that they not only get to bless me, but I get to bless them as well. So let's slow down and appreciate what God has already orchestrated, that we get to live in obediently and faithfully, trusting him every single step of the way. Isn't God good? God bless.